Alright, today we will be taking apart a Dell Alienware 13R2. Let's go ahead and turn it over and loosen the two screws holding on the main cover door. And by the way, we'll be using a 2 and a 2.5 millimeter Phillips head screw. Alright, first we will unplug the battery. Simple plastic connector. Just pull it straight out. Then we will remove the memory. Just spread the retainer bars, flip up, pull it straight out. Alright, next we will do the hard drive. So the connector has a handy ribbon, just pull straight up. And then remove the 4 screws holding the hard drive caddy to the laptop. And to remove the caddy, you just have the 4 screws and the SATA cable. Alright, next, since we were already here, we're going to go ahead and release the cables for the keyboard and the backlight for the keyboard. Just pull straight up on the little retainer there on both sides to release the ribbon. And then we can remove all the screws for the palm rest and then around for the back cover or the bottom cover. We also have a couple screws on back for the hinges. I'm going to go ahead and leave those in place until we're ready to remove the display. Alright, now we can go ahead and tilt the laptop up and release the little snaps around the edge of the palm rest. Carefully tilt it up, make sure you've released all the ribbons. Looks like we have one more underneath on the motherboard. So just flip up the little brown plastic connector and release the ribbon. and you will have removed the palm rest. Alright, next I would like to remove the display assembly. So we're going to go ahead and remove those clutch covers. And then we're gonna go ahead and make sure we can feed these Wi-Fi antennas through. And then we will remove any connectors or ribbons that are connected to the motherboard. And then for the main video cable, just flip up the little bar, pull it straight back toward the back of the laptop. Okay, so we can go ahead and hit those two we passed up earlier on the very back. And then we have two more holding on the hinges in the chassis. So support the display with one hand so it doesn't fall backwards, and then remove the last two screws. Alright, so for the motherboard, we're going to unplug all of the connectors for the fans, battery, and whatever else might be connected. You'll probably also want to release the DC jack as well, since the connector appears to be on the other side of the laptop or motherboard. Then remove all of the screws that are retaining the motherboard. Alright, after you have the screws and the ribbons removed, we're going to go ahead and work this out of the case. So some of these ports might be kind of clicked in to the surrounding plastic, so you might have to wiggle it a little bit. And there we go. And I will also be removing the DC jack. So as you can see, it's on the bottom side of the motherboard. Just pull it straight out. Alright, so it leaves us with a couple more screws to remove the battery. And bottom case is essentially disassembled, except for a couple speakers. Alright, now we are going to remove the power button and keyboard module from the palm rest. So you want to go ahead and release the little ribbons from the power button and just free them from the keyboard bracket. Same with the LEDs. I'm going to unstick the cable from the bracket for the keyboard. And then remove all of these screws around the keyboard bracket. Okay. We can lift straight up on this side. And then we will go ahead and remove the power button. Alright, so in this case we're going to leave the keyboard and touchpad intact, but if you need to remove the keyboard, you just have a couple screws at the bottom and it'll come straight out. Same with the touchpad and the LED board. Alright, back to the display assembly. We're going to use a flat edge tool to work around the perimeter and separate the back cover from the rest of the display assembly. be kind of tricky. You don't really want to pry too hard. You just want to do it just hard enough to hear it make a light pop when those snaps disconnect. Okay, and then once you open it up, you'll have access to the ribbons. And then we're going to go ahead and disconnect these from the screen assembly. Just pop up the little bar for the display cable and then pull it straight out. And then do the same thing for the webcam as well. That's LED. So there's the complete back cover assembly. You have the Wi-Fi antenna, webcam. Looks like in the LED lights as well. So we're going to leave the LEDs in, including the webcam, which is just stuck on with some adhesive. And we're going to go ahead and leave these Wi-Fi antennas installed. But if you need to remove them, you just get them out, little connectors, and that is it for the back cover. And then we will finish removing the video cable. And then we have a complete screen assembly, including the LCD screen and the front window bezel. We're going to go ahead and leave this as a complete unit. So that's how you disassemble an Alienware 13R2. Thank you very much, and if you liked or were helped by this video, please thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you.